Good morning and welcome to our Friday virtual assembly. Today is the 5th of March and you can see from the screen that we are looking at World Book Day because yesterday was World Book Day. Now Mrs Nicholson last week at the end of our assembly, I actually said it was Mothering Sunday was going to be our subject, but actually I got it wrong, Mrs Crossan. That's next week. So this week, yesterday, we know you did lots and lots of activities for World Book Day. But before we start having a look at that, our in the news this week is that everyone is back, safe and sound for our primary 1s to 3s in nursery and settled. This is their second week being back, and it has been confirmed that on the 15th of March, our primary 4s to 7s are back. Yay! We cannot tell you how happy we are, and we're really looking forward to getting our senior pupils back, and I know that you'll all be delighted with that news, and we'll keep in touch through email and I'll let your parents know, but our procedures will be just the same as they were at Christmas time. Nothing will have changed, so we're really looking forward to that, so that's great news. So, Mrs Crossan, World Book Day.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's assembly because World Book Day has always been one of my favourite times of the year in school. And usually, boys and girls, we all get dressed up and bring our favourite books and talk all about them and do lots of things in class. I know you've been doing things at home, but I'm really, really glad that we're still going to celebrate World Book Day.
And I think World Book Day, we decided this year not to add dressing up as your favourite character because we know remote learning has been tough, and we thought the last thing we want is everybody scrambling about for a costume, particularly what we've been through for the last year, so that's why we decided not to dress up, because the joy of a book is not about dressing up as a character or mass or anything else. It really is about celebrating what your favourite book is and developing that love of reading. Absolutely developing that love of reading. Because the benefits of sharing a story, one of the most happy memories I have is snuggling up at night after bath time for a bedtime story. And that really gave me a love of books.
Yeah.
It really did, and I think most of you will have that same experience. Chatting with somebody about a book helps us to understand it better. And when you read aloud, because some people think, well, why am I reading aloud a book? When you read aloud, it helps build your confidence.
It does.
It absolutely does. But sometimes when you're reading a book, and I used to sneak reading a book, Mrs Crossan, so my mum used to come upstairs and every single night I'd be under the covers with my book and a torch. And every night I got the torch confiscated and the book confiscated, and I always used to manage to find it. But that having the ability to read aloud a book develops confidence so that one day you'll maybe be sitting here doing these assemblies, these virtual assemblies.
Ooh.
So Mrs Crossan, when we think about books, they make you happy.
Oh, make me very happy.
They help you escape. So every single night I read a book before I go to bed, and it helps actually make me tired and it gives me a better sleep.
Yep.
It helps with my imagination. Some books are about facts, so I learn lots of new information from them. Some are fiction, some are inspired. Some books are sad and can actually make you cry, but it develops that emotion and that empathy for the characters, and you learn lots about people. So Mrs Crossan, do you have a favourite book?
Oh yes, I have a favourite book.
Right, let's see if I can guess what Mrs Crossan's favourite book is.
So I'm going to help you out here.
Oh, thank you, Mrs Crossan.
This is a book, still my favourite book. I have lots of other favourite books. But this book was a book that I remember getting a book token and going to buy some books when I was a wee girl. And I chose this book, didn't know the author. I think I liked the cover actually, and as you know, children always like animals. And it appealed to me. And about a pig.
Is it the Three Little Pigs?
No. No, it's only one.
Oh no, I've got it wrong.
And the main character, funnily enough, is a spider.
Oh, I think I have it now. And actually, that's one of my favourite stories too. Mrs. Crossing, is it Charlotte's Web?
Absolutely Charlotte's Web. Absolutely Charlotte's Web. Oh, it's wonderful. And as you say, it's got really sad bits in it. It's got bits that make you think really, really hard. And it's got really happy bits in it too. And I learned a lot, because when you were saying you can read fiction and non-fiction books, do you know, sometimes I read fiction books and I learn a lot of facts.
Yes, because they're weaved throughout the books.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I still love reading this book, and anytime I get a chance to read it, I do, and I've done it often with children. The other thing I would say, children, is that you can get a film of this. Films are good, not the same as reading the book, so you should always read the book.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, when I actually see a film coming out, if I haven't read the book first, I'll always read the book first, because it is always better. Always better. I wonder if you can guess what my favourite book is, Mrs. Crossan.
Okay. Is it a fiction book or a non-fiction book?
So it is non-fiction.
It's non-fiction, okay. And can you give me a clue?
So I'm going to give you a clue.
So it's a witch book. Is it The Worst Witch?
No, it's not The Worst Witch. No.
Is it The Witches by Roald Dahl?
No. I like to give spells, and might I add, you are looking very beautiful today, Mrs. Crossan.
Thanks very much.
Very beautiful today.
Thank you. I think you're going to have to help me here. What if the boys and girls know? You can probably guess boys and girls.
I'm sure they could. And in fact, I've got lots of books, and one of my books actually was The Magic Porridge Pot. I think that's my all-time favourite book, but I couldn't actually find it this morning. And I actually ate all my porridge this morning, so I didn't have a prop. So I went for another one of my favourite books. And it's actually by Anne Fine, and it's called Charm School.
Oh, I don't think I've read that one.
It's a fabulous book, and it's about a wee girl about Bonnie, who she doesn't want to go to charm school. And we've actually got some boys and girls who found it tough this week actually coming to school, because when you've got older boys and girls who are still at home and you're having to come to school, that's really, really tough. So this week, this book made me think of that, Mrs. Crossan. And then, of course, she comes to school and it's not as bad as she feared. So coming back to school, I think it was a thought that was really difficult of not wanting to go to charm school. And then once she got there, she loved it. And I just loved the thought of being able to cast spells and charm people.
That would be a great
so
one.
That is one of my favourite books. I'm going to take off this ridiculous hat now.
And that's another great thing I've found about books. Sometimes you read a book and you might be having a hard time, or something might be happening in your life. And when you read books, you realise sometimes that other people are going through exactly the same things as you. And that can be really, really helpful to know you're not alone.
Absolutely, and I think that's so true. Now, Mrs. Crossan got her first book using a book token, and this week on Thursday, our trending 1s to 3s got their pound book token home. It went home in our home learning packs. Well, it will go home in our home learning packs on Friday. And if you would like your pound book token, just pop into the office, and the ladies have got a big bundle for you there. If you don't want to pop into the office, then in my email that is going out on Friday morning, this morning, I've included a link, and if your mums and dads just click on the link, you can get your book token and print it off at home. So if you can't manage into school to pick up your book token, then you can print it off at school, or you can wait till next week or the next few weeks and come back and collect it then. But it's a great idea, and there's lots and lots of books, pound books available that people can buy for World Book Day, which is fantastic. So why are books so much fun? Mrs. Crossan's mentioned a few of these. They're funny.
Yeah.
We were talking before our assembly about books and characters we've dressed up as before, and I'm glad I actually couldn't find this costume this morning either, because it's Captain Underpants. And I love that story because it makes me laugh. But actually I didn't think you would want to see Mrs. Nicholson dressed as Captain Underpants today. So
disappointing to me, I would love to have seen this.
Funny, exciting, sometimes a wee bit scary.
Yeah, I quite like a scary book.
Yeah, it's particularly Charlotte's Web, Mrs. Crossan's choice. I was a wee bit scared at the thought of the pig heading off.
Yes.
And that scared me a wee bit, but actually happy, sad, and we spoke about that, real, sometimes they can be pretend.
Oh, likewise.
And of course you don't just always get books and stories, as we spoke about. There's lots of different types. There could be magazines, there could be articles, there could be comics. Poems are a great thing to actually look if you want just a wee short read. You can get information, words, and one of my favourite things are the illustrations. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Mrs. Crossan, are you a bit like me? When I go into the library and I'm looking for a book, the cover attracts me, but also the feel of the book.
Yes.
I think sometimes the feel of a book, when you feel that cover, and I have an iPad that I download books onto, but it's not the same as actually physically having a book. I miss turning the page in the corner, so that's something to maybe think about. So we've had World Book Day yesterday, but we just wanted to really think about what is World Book Day? So World Book Day is about children exploring the amazing world of books and reading. And you see World Book Day and different dates coming up, so I thought it was important to have a wee look at that. So around the world, in America and lots of other countries around the world, World Book Day is actually in April. So it's the 23rd of April. But in the UK and Ireland, World Book Day is always held on the first Thursday in March, which was today, or yesterday.
Okay, so World Book Day began with a decree by UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organisation. The first World Book Day was held in April 1995, wow, over 20 years ago. The idea, excuse me, let me say that again. The idea for World Book Day came from the Spanish celebration of the Rose Day. It was a day where people gave each other a rose to show their love. Very similar to Valentine's Day.
Absolutely. So World Book Day is full of fun. Here are just a few ways you can celebrate. Now, I've spoken about this, dressing up as a character. Now, some of you may wish to dress up as a character, and we would love if you posted some pictures on Teams or tweeted them to us, but you don't have to, just for fun and just something that you have sitting about the house. Which one would you pick and why? In the UK and Ireland, children are given a token, so you can collect your token to get your book. We have author visits to school and sharing their love of reading. Now, this year we can't have author visits, but if you check out our Twitter page, there are lots of live author meets and video chats and conferences, and your teachers have been sharing them with you, and they will share their love of reading. Because I know, just reading the stories that the boys and girls have uploaded onto assignments and that we've read in the hub, I think we've got some authors in the making.
Oh, absolutely.
Where we've got some children who have such amazing imaginations that in years to come, Mrs. Nicholson's going to be phoning up saying, can you come in and do an author visit? I wonder who's going to be our next authors of the future. And How would you suggest your class celebrates World Book Day? Well, I think we've had lots of celebrations. One of the things I think is good to do is make a list of your favourite authors and books and share that with friends. So Mrs. Crossan, I want to share some of my favourite book characters.
Okay.
Any idea who this person is?
Well, I think I'll have to get Wilbur to help me here. Because Wilbur.
I think Wilbur will help you.
And Charlotte's Web. We think,
okay,
that it's Willy Wonka.
You are so right. And Willy Wonka, I used to, when I read it, the anticipation of getting that golden ticket to get into the chocolate factory, that is just amazing. And these characters are so famous now because people read and share their ideas, and you'll see them on the television.
What do you think, Wilbur thinks it's Wally.
You are so right. And Where's Wally is a great one. And I actually find, we've spoken a lot in our assemblies about mindfulness. I actually find the Where's Wally books a great health and wellbeing activity. If I feel I need to take 5 minutes to just stop and think to myself, then I'll get my Where's Wally book out, and actually I've got one that's Where's Mabel, that my sister actually made me for Christmas, and rather than it be Wally, I have to search for the dog in the picture. And actually just that concentrating and switching off from everything else, those books are a really great mindfulness activity.
You don't know? I think, Wilbur, it might be one of the Dr. Seuss characters. I think it might be the Catman.
You are so right, Mrs. Cross. Isn't Mrs. Crossan doing really well? It would have been a lovely idea if we dressed up as Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Oh, that would have been great.
If we had our Thing 1 and Thing 2 costumes on, then we would have fitted perfectly with Cat in a Hat.
Oh, Mrs. Nicholson, we're a bit stuck at this one. I think you're going to have to help us out.
That's okay. Now this one is one of my favourites because I quite like cartoons, and this one is actually the diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, of course it is.
And when you see them, it's littered within the book. You've got the wee pictures as well, which help you. And I know a lot of the children, particularly in our primary 4 and 5 classes, love that story. It makes them laugh out loud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is what you
I
thought I was that person.
We think that's the worst witch.
You are right. Jill Murphy writes fabulous books. Well, she doesn't look like the worst witch.
Because you get a picture in your mind of a character, don't you, from reading the book?
Yeah, when you think of worst witch, you think of like the worst witch, the most evil witch, but actually that story's about her not being a very good witch.
Yeah.
And she actually looks as though she's an adorable witch. She looks as though she's lots of fun.
Oh, I think we know this one. Big favourite of my daughter, Harry Potter.
Absolutely. Now there's a clue in the background to this one.
Okay, I think it's maybe to do with, is it the lightning?
Yes, well spotted, Mrs. Crossan.
Lightning. Is it Percy? Oh, you're going to have to help me out.
So Percy Jackson,
is it?
Yes.
Percy Jackson, that's it.
Well
Yes,
done,
I have
Mrs.
that one.
Crossan. And again, lots of our children love the Percy Jackson. I love this one.
Now, I know that is going to be a Roald Dahl book.
Yep. How do you know that,
Because I know the illustrations.
Yep.
Because Roald Dahl's books were always illustrated by Quentin Blake.
Yep.
But which character is it? I wonder. I think you're going to have to help me out with the character. Which one is that?
And I think when you see that big beard in the illustration, so it's Mr. Gum.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
But
But the illustrations are fabulous.
Yeah,
And
and you'll know
one.
this
Go
one.
this one, Tracy Beaker.
Tracy Beaker. Easy, easy.
Got that over. Tracy.
So, 6 days to celebrate World Book Day. Books make you smarter. For sure. The more you read, the more you know, and it actually builds your vocabulary.
Yeah.
I learn lots of new words from reading. Mrs. Crossan?
Books are magical and you can visit other worlds and times. And as you say, you can cut off from all the other things you're doing. And sometimes I start reading a book and I think, oh no, it's an hour and a half later, I should have been doing something else, but I just can't put them down.
They help spark your imagination. They take you to that other world.
They're relaxing to read after a long day at school.
They can help you raise money for charity as well, because lots of books, they'll donate to charity, they give you ideas and spark things, and World Book Day normally we be raising lots of money for charity.
And you can have a special book and have a friend for life, like Wilbur and Charlotte, who have been my friend all of my very long life children.
So where to find your next book? There's lots of different ways to find a book, and reading can be, so in school we've got lots of books that you can take home and have a read. There's so many books during lockdown that we've actually discovered new ways to unlock libraries by virtual libraries and online. But the local library was somewhere where I frequented all my life actually, because you could just take out a book for nothing, read it and then give it back, and that's all done virtually now, which is great. You can ask teachers about their favourite books for recommendations. You can ask your parents about their favourite books. Ask your friends. You can even make your own book and share it with friends. And with your parents' permission, you can visit lots of websites which have got great ideas. Now we're going to finish this week's assembly with a quiz. Poor Mrs. Crossan has been tested today.
Here we go again. Well,
But
we're
Mrs.
Charlotte this time too.
I am just going to charm you, and you're going to be ready for our quiz.
I'm ready.
Now, you'll have seen in the media lots of schools and lots of websites have the masked reader, where they use the voice of someone reading and they disguise it. A bit like a television programme that's on a Saturday night called The Masked Singer.
Okay.
But Mrs. Nicholson wasn't very good with her technology, and I couldn't quite manage to do the masked reader with the voice distorted. So I thought, what else could we do? So I decided to give you some clues.
Okay.
Mrs. Crossan.
I'm a bit worried, but okay, yeah.
Mrs. Crossan's got this. Absolutely got this. So, who is,
Okay,
drum the masked reader? Can you work out who the celebrity masked reader is and what book they're reading, Mrs. Crossan?
okay,
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
There's 3 clues to solve,
Right.
and solve 3 more clues to find out what book. So we're going to find out which celebrity and which book.
Oh, okay.
So the first masked reader, he's a professional football player.
Right, I could be on a sticky wicket.
Now I'm going to give you a clue. He doesn't play for Morton.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not Morton, it's not local, professional football player.
Okay.
He plays football for Manchester United. Now I hope you're all trying to work this out at home.
Right. I'm not any no. Nope. Nope.
So unfortunately it's not Aberdeen where you're moving to, it's Manchester United. And this one is one where I think you'll recognise him from. He's a campaigner for free school meals.
Oh, Charlotte thinks she can help me here.
Oh,
Is it Marcus Rashford?
Well done, Mrs.
Well
Crossan.
done. Great.
Wow! How amazing is Mrs. Crossan? Okay, so can we guess what he's reading now? I'm going to move through this quickly.
Yeah, this
then.
might be a challenge.
So the
too
story
far.
features lots of vegetables.
Okay.
One of the green vegetables is very evil.
Oh, that sounds a good story.
Now, I hadn't heard of this story, and the story takes place in a supermarket.
I think you're going to have to help me. Don't think we could.
So Marcus is reading Super Potato
Sounds a good title.
by Sue Hendra and Paul Linnett. Now, I haven't actually read this book either, but I'm intrigued.
I think I would like to.
I'm intrigued. I'm thinking, my goodness, I need to go and see this. So our next mass reader, he was born in 1926 and he's over 90 years old.
Okay.
He's been knighted by the Queen
Mm-hmm.
and he's famous for presenting natural history programmes including Planet Earth.
Oh, I think I definitely know this one.
Oh, I knew you would know this one.
Yeah, Wilbur agrees with me. It's Sir David Attenborough.
Well done, Mrs. Crossan. So can you guess what he's reading?
Okay, let's see.
The book is about 3 siblings.
3 siblings.
The characters in the book are flying creatures with feathers.
Okay.
And the smallest character in the book wants its mummy.
Is it about birds?
I think you're right. So,
Oh, Owl Baby. Oh, look.
so his favourite book is Owl Baby. And I think that book actually, I'm not surprised that's what he picked. I knew it would be something to do with animals. Something to do with animals. And our next mass reader, I think you're going to get this one. He's
Right,
a
I think I'll
famous
bet some
athlete
chance.
and has won 4 Olympic gold medals.
Right.
He's been knighted by the Queen, just
Another
like
one.
Sir David. And he's written a children's book with Kesney called Go, Mo, Go, Dinosaur Dash.
Is there a clue in the title there?
There is a big clue in the title. I wonder if you've all got it at home.
Well, we think we know.
Okay, Mrs. Crossan.
We think it's Mova.
You are exactly
there you go.
right. Well done. Can we all do our Mo? Now, I wonder what book Mo is reading.
Don't know.
So the book is about a boy on his first day of school.
Right.
The boy has a bucket with some toy creatures in it.
Okay.
And the creatures are now extinct.
Dinosaurs then.
Yes. Now this was actually my son's favourite book when he was a toddler. He loved this book.
Can you give me a clue?
We've actually got the boy in the story, we've actually got someone by the same name in Miss Milner's class. And his bucket is filled with those dinosaurs.
What's the first one?
Harry.
Harry?
You are right, Mrs. Crossan. Harry. So Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs. And there's actually lots of Harry books. Some it's his bucket full of dinosaurs. Lots of books. So Harry is reading, Sir Mo, sorry, is reading Harry the Bucket Full of Dinosaurs. And I love this story because the dinosaurs come to life at night.
Fantastic.
And they get up to all sorts, Mrs. Crossan.
Fantastic.
One more. Oh, now I thought we'd, in fact, I'm going to skip through this, Mrs. Crossan, because I think actually Mrs. Crossan, I think I'm going to skip through it because I think Mrs. Crossan had actually done really, really well. We've tested her this week. So boys and girls, that's the end of our assembly this week. Now I can confidently say that next week's is going to be about Mother's Day because I'd skipped a week ahead. We hope you have a lovely weekend. And then after Mother's Day, we have got all our boys and girls back to Inverkit.
Fantastic.
Which is fab.
So pleased.
Thank you so much to Mrs. Crossan for doing so well in our quiz and for sharing our stories with her.
Thank you.
Don't forget to share your stories, share your characters and enjoy the love of reading. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Hi boys and girls from Charlotte, Wilbur